Hi everyone and welcome. I'm Carol, bringing you some information on the full moon in Aquarius, which is tomorrow, August 11, 2022, approximately 9:36 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So it is a late full moon. We're going to be feeling this depending on what part of the world it is on the next day. Now, as you may know, a full moon is all about a culmination point. And there are some strong aspects to this full moon in Aquarius, and I'll be discussing them shortly. But also in this video, I will be taking out cards for the air signs, Aquarius, Gemini, Libra. It'll also apply to your rising sign if those are any of yours. And of course, the opposite sign of the full moon, Leo, fire sign or fire ascendant. I will be doing a short little card where focus needs to be for those particular signs. Okay, what are some of those aspects for this full moon in Aquarius tomorrow? Well, it conjuncts Saturn, and I'm just going to say that that conjunction Saturn is definitely teaching very, very strongly at this time. And we have the reoccurring Saturn square Uranus, and those are two powerful forces with opposite ambitions. We've been feeling this on and off since the year 2021 very strongly. But what I find most dynamic at this time of the full moon, I'm going to be sharing here with you, is that we also have 4 retrograde planets, and astrologers believe that when planets are retrograde, they are at their most powerful. They're spinning. We also have the North Node in Taurus. Okay, so here are the 4 planets that are retrograde right now. And if you have these in your charts, you may be feeling those houses where these planets are. Jupiter is in Aries. It is a fire sign. Saturn is in its ancient ruler of Aquarius. And that is, of course, an air sign. And that's why we have a conjunct with the full moon. We have Neptune in Pisces. Neptune is also in the ruler of Pisces, very comfortable, and it's very strong right now, and that is a water sign. So a lot of people are seeing their dream state, and different ways of dealing with what is being brought up to a lot of people's attention right now, and dealing with the facts that are addressed to us right now. We also have Pluto that's been in Capricorn for many, many years in an earth sign. The North Node in Taurus, of course, is going to be looking at that South Node in Scorpio. Scorpio is ruled by Pluto. And what does all of this mean? Okay, for me, number 1, we have all elements exemplified. All 4 elements, fire, air, water, and earth, are all retrograde, are all being brought out. So the collective are approaching material things in the world in terms of their significance and value from a soul level. And I will touch upon that word soul level in a few minutes. And for our own good, let's just say our conscious evolution, transformation is needed in this direction. No one has to tell us that. We are seeing inflation, we are seeing a recession, we are seeing fears in the financial institution. There's a lot going on, and it has to do with our security, our resources, our material things, our possessions, and that is really in the limelight. So my emphasis is on this because of the South Node in Scorpio, as I said earlier, ruled by Pluto. And Taurus is all about values, where the North Node is. So we're seeing what Pluto does, which is whatever has been hidden from view or we chose not to see is going to come up, we're going to have to work with it. And now it's all in Pluto's domain. And reformation is another word for Pluto. So I'm feeling there's going to be a reformation in materialism, and that's going to be the focus for many people and us as a society. Okay, here is the takeoff. For many of you who follow me, you know that when I do full moons, I also correlate them with numerology and the tarot. And I want to emphasize from the information that I gathered, the full moon in Aquarius is going to be finding peace of mind by entering the heart. And we can look at that as spirit entering matter. Numerology says that the day of the full moon, 2022 is the universal year. We're in the 8th month. On the 11th day, we add up 2 plus 4 plus 1. We have 7. 7 is spiritual unfoldment. Where is spiritual unfoldment? It's at the soul level. And the soul is basically a recipient to what is happening in the mind. And if the mind is now meditating, contemplating, assessing, reflecting, it is connected to spirit, and that's where the change is going to occur. Also, number 7 in numerology corresponds to Neptune and the moon. Well, we just said here earlier that Neptune is very happy in Pisces, a water sign, so there's a lot more, there is a energy occurring not only by the day of the full moon and how it relates to what's happening with Neptune and Pisces. So there is an urge, a greater urge to escape or to dissolve the past. Choices. I say choices because the universal year 2022 is a 6 vibration. We are under that vibration from the beginning of the year to the end. Choices is a word oftentimes used by tarot practitioners to talk about the lovers. But it's more than that. It is also about relationships we have with everything right now. So what we have been putting our energy in, whether that's rebuilding our relationships with others, learning to love ourselves, working or changing our relationships in the workplace with whatever and whomever, in the full moon aspect of the number 7, the Chariot, then we add to this energy what the Chariot represents and corresponds to in the tarot, which is Cancer, again, ruled by the moon. So you have the spiritual water rising above limitations. The limitations that possibly we enforce with our choices, that we enforce with where we worked, how our persona, all of that. And I don't want to make this a very long video, but you can see where I'm heading with this, because the Chariot is all about setting and then releasing your new intention into the future. What you've discovered now is an opportunity to feel it and release it. It's also have your mind fixed on goals and your emotions under control. The Chariot is all about the power of the mind, and so is Aquarius, the air sign. The power of the mind able to control the emotions, or let's say the dichotomy that happens within us, the duality that happens within us, the conscious and the unconscious, the polarity of good and bad, right and wrong. And since the Chariot says, you've harnessed that power, now go with it, then this is a very positive full moon in Aquarius. So let's go ahead now and see what the individual signs of those that are going to be affected by this full moon more than others, as I said earlier, are going to be the air sign. So I will pull out a card for Aquarius, and that's where I'm going to begin. And this is for Aquarius sun sign and Aquarius rising. And the tarot would like you to know death reverse. What you thought was finished has transformed and you're not able to identify it. That transformation process was long and tedious. So this full moon asks you to look with new eyes, let go of preconceived ideas of what those changes that you know have occurred are going to look like or feel like. There is somewhat of a wake-up call. Remember, you also have Saturn right now in that Aquarius sign. So I almost want to take out another card. This is too dynamic. And we have the King of Wands. It's a very strong force, and it does have to do with an authority figure or something that you are struggling with an authority figure that you thought was going to kind of work its way out, but it is not. And it could also has to do with a big organization, whoever's in charge with a big organization. All right. The next one, of course, is going to be Gemini. Gemini sun or Gemini rising. Let's see what the tarot wants you to know. The Two of Wands. That's a fire energy. And Gemini, you're going to do very well with this. You're finally making that decision. You've waited for insight, for information to come to you. So perceive ahead. The universe is blessing that decision, blessing who you are at this point, the accomplishments that you made. Be proud and move forward. Libra is our next air sign. Libra sun sign or Libra rising. The tarot would like you to know. The Knight of Pentacles. Pentacles is an earth sign, so Libra, whatever you've been holding on to in fear-based, whether that is possessions or whether that is money. If you still want to hold on to it, that is your priority, but whatever you think was going to bring you greater security is going to take a longer period of time than you initially estimated. You definitely worked hard to gain this, accumulate this, you nursed it. So this full moon is putting possibly some new thought. You being a balance sign, Libra, the scales, weigh out your options around the full moon and see if it is worth you keeping this security, this possession, and it could be a job where there is an income coming in, but there are strings attached. So you can see this has many legs attached to it. All right, and then lastly, we are going to do Leo. Leo is a fire sign. Leo is the opposite sign of our full moon. Leo sun and Leo rising. The tarot would like you to know, you have the 8 of Cups. And the 8 of Cups is a transitional period. It also resonates to the planet Saturn, which is making a conjunct to Aquarius, as we know. And I am really feeling with air and with Leo being fire, that what emotional decision you are making or have made, Leo, then there are some obstacles still ahead, but ultimately you will gain access to your goal. I'm feeling like you've been through this another time before, maybe 2 months ago, but at this level, the 8, you finally broke free, and you've turned your back, you've cut some ties, persevere, and continue onward. All right, friends, I hope you've enjoyed this. Thanks so much for watching, and if you have any questions, please feel free to ask me. Blessings. Bye for now.